Would is a versatile modal verb with several uses in English. Here are some of the main uses of would. Expressing polite requests. Examples: would you please pass me the salt? Would you mind closing the door? Indicating past habits or repeated actions. Examples: when I was a child, I would play in the park every day. He would often visit his grandparents on weekends. Expressing future in the past. Examples: she said she would help me with the project. He promised he would be here on time. Making hypothetical or conditional statements. Examples: if I had more time, I would travel the world. I would go to the concert if I could afford the tickets. Polite invitations. Examples: would you like to join us for dinner tonight? Would you care for some tea? Expressing unreal or imagined situations. Examples: I wish I would have studied harder for the exam. If I were a bird, I would fly in the sky. Indicating a preference. Examples: I would prefer to watch a movie instead of going out. She would rather stay home than attend the party. Offering or making suggestions. Examples: would you like me to help you with your homework? We would suggest trying the new restaurant in town. Softening statements or making tentative assertions. Examples: I would say the movie was good, but it could have been better. The weather would appear to be improving. Narrating past events in stories or narratives. Example: once upon a time, there lived a prince who would go on many adventures. More examples: I would like to order a large pizza with extra cheese. He said he would meet us at the park. Would you mind passing me the salt, please? We would often go swimming at the beach during summer. She would play the piano every evening after dinner. If I had more time, I would read more books. They would always help their neighbors in times of need. Would you be interested in joining our team? He promised he would bring dessert to the party. If it rained, we would stay indoors and watch movies. She would go jogging every morning to stay fit. I would love to visit Paris someday. Would you kindly lend me your pen for a moment? He said he would call me later in the evening. If I won the lottery, I would buy a new house. She would often bake cookies for her friends. Would you like to go out for dinner tonight? They would visit their grandparents every summer. He said he would help us with the project. If you had asked, I would have told you the truth. She would sing at the local cafe on weekends. Would you care for some tea or coffee? We would always celebrate birthdays with a party. If I were you, I would take some time off. She said she would be here by 5 p.m. I would love to travel to exotic destinations. Would you mind turning off the lights before leaving? He would often play video games until late at night. She would volunteer at the animal shelter every weekend. If he studied harder, he would get better grades. We would often go hiking in the mountains. Would you mind if I borrowed your car for a day? She said she would help with the preparations. If I had known, I would have come earlier. They would always cheer for their favorite sports team. He would read a bedtime story to his children every night. Would you like some more coffee? We would sometimes go fishing at the nearby lake. If it were sunny, we would go to the beach. She said she would bring her famous apple pie. I would appreciate it if you could help me. He would often get lost in thought. Would you be interested in attending the concert? If they invited us, we would go to the party. She would always wear a smile on her face. He said he would arrive before the meeting starts. Would you mind if we played some music? I would love to see the Northern Lights one day. They would visit their relatives during holidays. If it were warmer, we would go for a picnic. She said she would call back later. Would you like to go shopping this weekend? He would always help his friends when they needed it. We would often go camping in the summer. If he asked, I would tell him the truth. She said she would wait for us at the cafe. I would appreciate your feedback on this matter. He would sometimes talk to himself while working. Would you mind if we took a short break? They would often go for long walks in the park. If I had more money, I would travel the world. She said she would bring her guitar to the party. Would you like to come with us to the movies? We would always celebrate special occasions together. If they agreed, we would proceed with the plan. He would often dream about becoming a pilot. She said she would be ready in 5 minutes. Would you mind if I asked you a question? I would love to learn how to play the guitar. They would go swimming in the lake every summer. If it snowed, we would build a snowman. She said she would help with the cooking. Would you like to try some of my homemade cookies? He would sometimes play the piano for hours. We would often stay up late talking and laughing. If I had the chance, I would visit my hometown. She said she would meet us at the cafe. Would you mind if I borrowed your book? I would be grateful for any assistance you can provide. He would often give his spare change to the homeless. They would always bring a gift for the host. If he tried harder, he would improve his skills. She said she would take care of the arrangements. Would you like me to call a taxi for you? We would sometimes watch movies until dawn. If it were quiet, we would hear the birds chirping. He would always lend a helping hand to his neighbors. She said she would finish the report before the deadline. Would you mind if we postponed the meeting? I would love to spend some time by the beach. They would often go for long,